So I'm going to just show you some basics here using the basic tools and older tools that we used to use to do this. It will help you to do other things in Photoshop. For like an easier method, you can consult some of the videos where they show you how to use the newer tools in Photoshop, including masking, some of the masking tools that are now available, plus the select subject, which will let the computer sort of select things for you and help out a bit. But we're going to do it the old-fashioned, or there's many, many ways to select these things and to copy an image out. Many different things you can do. I'm just going to show you one common technique. So what we're going to do is try to select me out of this picture. Now I have a picture with a white background, so it's easy for me to pick. So I'm going to go to this quick selection tool right here. It's W. Quick selection will try to select the things. It tries to guess what you're trying to select, but you tell it, like, add these colors, take away these colors. So right now we're on the add right here. So I'm going to select me. So it's looking like it's getting a sweater now, and I gave it some shirt. So it's selected the shirt. I can tell it, okay, more shirt. Now watch, see, it got that. I tell it I want it this, skin color. We'll add some skin color. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab inside my face, try to get most of it. Okay, there we go. Now we got some issues. Here's a common issue. This is too close to the background color. So now I need to go in and get closer. Try to click, click, click up so it gets the whole collar. Now we got some issues with the hair, you can see. So I'm not that worried about these wispy hairs, but I want to try not to have too much white in it as well. So I'm going to use this minus. So you can pick plus to add, minus to subtract, or you can hold down control control on the PC or alt option on the Mac. I'm going to hold down alt option. Now you can see it's turned into a mouse in the mouse. So in this minus, I'm going to try to take out some of this white area. Well, let's find a big piece here, right here, so that it's not sticking out too much with white. And we got some white here too, but we can do a little bit of editing later. So it looks okay. It's not perfect, but it looks okay. Yeah, okay. Maybe a little bit here to clean it up a little bit so it doesn't look like it's got a jagged face. Okay. Here too. Now I kind of wish I could have some of this hair in here, but for now it's not gonna be perfect. So now that I've selected that, what I can do is make a mask. Well, right now I'm working with my background image, which is locked. I don't really want to do that. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this layer. Now go to my duplicate. I'll leave this guy alone. Actually, we'll hide him. Take this eyeball away. Hide it so we don't look at him. Okay. So now we can actually check this out. What I can do is go down here and add a layer mask. Now when I add that layer mask, since I have a selection, it's going to use that selection to add that layer mask. So you can see, all right, so that's what it's selecting. Not perfect, but looks okay. Now what we can do is do a little bit of editing. I can right click and go refine mask. Now these are the old tools that people aren't really using as much anymore, but it's good to know good to have some idea, and it's easy for doing some small things. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this little tool here so that I can do a little bit of edits where we see this white. Now you can choose what it looks like. Right now I can put red behind it, but I'm going to put black behind it since I had a white background. If I had a black background, dark background, I would have done this, but that doesn't help me. So I'm black. Okay, you can see. Now I'm going to just since I'm going to do some fine tuning here, I'm going to focus here. I'm going to just do a radius of 2 pixels and feather it. I'm going to feather it for 2 pixels. Or you can play around with these options and see what you can do. Depends on what you're working with, but for me, this is what I'm going to do now. You can try different stuff. So for these white areas, I'm going to actually, now this is a pretty big, you can see. So I am going to turn this down a bit, down to maybe about 20, or smaller. Yeah, maybe even smaller, 15. Now I'm going to use this to feather. Feather will make my edges a little bit opaque, transparent. Um, and we're going to try to clean this up a bit. So right now you have black and white here, right? Black and white. If I add white, right, that's gonna, I'll show you. Right now my back color is black. It's stuck. Well, anyway, well, I mean that's it's already set. If you were to use white and use a paintbrush, you could do the same thing. But let's just, so I'm going to use black. I'm going to basically take away from this image. I'm minusing with black because black is the back, nothing. So I'm just going to clean up a bit here. So I'm just making this a little less bright white. And I'm trying not to get on the edges here too much. Just a little bit here. But I'm trying not to get too much on the edges. There. So just toning down this white. You can see I'm using my old computer. What I'm doing is making this white a little less bright, making it a little bit more opaque, so it doesn't copy the bright white. It copies like a lower level version of it, of that white. It's going to be partially see-through. Well, that was a little too much. Okay. So I'm going to back up a bit. Go back to my quick selection. No, never mind. I'm going to continue doing it. I can just hit back. Control Z or Command Z will let me go backwards. So this whole area, I think I could use a little bit. You can see the whitening coming in, right? And then it darkens up. So go here too. Right. So now, well, that was too much. I'm gonna go back, undo that. Okay. Try it again without doing too much. Yep, again too much. So I'm gonna go back. Try it again. Alright, trying to do this on trackpad, it's not that great. Okay. You're not gonna get perfect, but you're just trying to make some improvements. Okay, it's taking a second on my old computer. There we go. Alright. Getting to here. There we go. Processing. Oh, move a little bit here. And then here. Okay. And maybe just some spots here. Don't have to do too much. Now, all right. So, like I said, it's not perfect, but it gets us somewhere. Makes it look a little better. I'm gonna stop with that. We can back out a bit with this zoom. Zoom back out. Look at it. Looks a little better. It's not perfect. Maybe a little bit right here. Sticking out, showing. Yeah. Maybe that's just a little bit too much. Well, that's fine. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Now let's hit OK. There we go. So let's just do a quick check. I'm going to edit. and then I'm going to, oh, I need to select it first. So I'm going to select all, make sure I've selected this layer correctly, right? Selected all. Now I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to copy merged. I'm going to copy this whole thing, and I'm going to go to where I want to put it, right here, and voila, there I am. Now it's not perfect. You can still see some like glowing white. It's a little bit lighter than before, but it's still kind of this glowing white. This would look better on another whiter background, whitish background, but it's okay. It's not perfect. If I was really trying to make it look perfect, I would go in and do a little bit more. But just to get our basics, how do we do this? This is the basics before we go into too advanced of techniques. So if I want to put myself in this trash can, I'm going to probably have to make myself a little smaller. Okay. And as I'm making myself smaller, you know, this fine tuning is not as much of a problem. It's not as important. Now, this is not the best cut for this thing, as you can see. It's not gonna look a little weird how I've cut it. But maybe I want to put myself right there. Okay, like so it doesn't look like this cutoff is sticking out. Well, how do I want to do that? So I got myself in. I want to hit yes. Okay, I'm in. Yes, now I've put myself in here. See, not so perfect. Kind of looks like it's been cut out. For our first try, this should be okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this go away, invisible. All right, I want myself to be behind here. So what do I want to do? I need to use this quick selection tool again. I'm going to try to select this part of the can. Now, this is all the same color, so I don't think it's not going to be great. It's going to be perfect, right? So we got all this guy here. Okay. What we're really concerned about is this line right here, right? That's the most important. So I'm gonna make this guy smaller. Take my size down to 10. You can also see 10. And I am going to say negative, minus. Now we're gonna try to clean this up a bit. Now see if I added that and then it subtracted them too much. So let's go here. Try that again. There we go. Now I'm going to add again. So add again. I'm going to add a bit here where I want it to be. Fine tuning a little bit. So we're not going to get, you know, it's not perfect. You don't have, it's never going to be perfect, but it's going to get pretty good. Here. Can't see if this is the lip here. Yeah, we want to add this lip all the way to the edge. Up. I'll go back and fix that up a bit. Alright, and then got one more minus. Gonna clean up this edge. Hopefully your computer will figure it out. Photoshop will start seeing where it wants it. Plus again. That edge, nice. Okay, so much better. So now I've got that edge set up. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to copy it. Edit. Yeah. I'm gonna copy. We can just copy merged. Right? It's gonna copy what we see. Now I'm gonna paste it into a new layer. Okay. So let's make a new layer, and then paste it in. Paste. Now I've just pasted. Now you can see. This is what I've copied and pasted. It doesn't really matter that it's not perfect. We don't need it. What we're worried about is this line right here. See. So now, if I put me in, now I'm behind. So if I moved my layer down, right? If I take this layer and move it here, I'm in front. Well, if I take this and put it behind, it's fine. So if we look at this, right, this is just a cutout on top of here. Nothing changes. But now I'm in the trash can. Okay, so I actually want to pull myself out a bit. Oh, I just moved the trash can because I didn't select the right layer. So I'm going to go select myself and my right layer. Got this done. And I'm going to select move, and I'm going to move myself up. See what it looks like. And you'll see I'm sticking out. How can I make it look pretty good? I think that's about as good as I can get it. There I am, coming out of the trash can, cut in. Okay. Uh, that's it for right now. Please, if you have any questions, send me questions. Try out this method. Try out the subject selection method in the newer version of Photoshop in the videos. Play around with different methods to see what you can do. Okay. I mean, don't worry too. Try to get it looking as good as possible, but don't spend too much time trying to get it perfect. This is our first try. We just want to make it doable. Okay? Great.